So, you skydive for the first time.
That was awesome!
Yes!
And that was not enough, I imagine, because you did it again. How did you decide to do it again?
I was more thinking about how can I make this more intense? And the way to make this even more intense would be to do it yourself. I started doing some research again on the progressive free fall, and that's what it's called in Canada. The course that you need to take to learn to become a solo certified skydiver. I started to think about any potential problems that might happen. You only have a few seconds to fix it. During the first tandem, there was a time where I couldn't have fixed any problem because I was just oblivious. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I just wanted to experience the entire thing from start to finish without missing any moments in time. If I could do that, I would think harder about doing the solo certification. The first one to the second was 2.5 weeks. And the reason for that was because the courses for the solo skydiving were coming up shortly after that. Well, the second time I brought my 17-year-old son. He had seen the video and he said, hey, I would try this, you know, why don't I go the next time? And it worked out perfectly. So we were going to jump together, not him connected to me, we each had our own instructors, but we sat side by side on the plane and we got to experience that together, which was awesome. Because I'd already done it once and I had a different objective. For me it was, can I stay fully aware the entire time? And for him, it was a bucket list thing. He fell into the group of people that wanted to do the check mark. I don't think he has any want to go on to the next level, but he wanted to give it a go. He wanted to knock this one off, and at such a young age, I thought it was fantastic. I love the book, Into the Wild. The main point of the book is happiness is only real when shared. And I did it myself the first time, but it was a solo experience. Having that shared experience, I think it really, strengthens the bond, because now we have this thing that, at any time we can talk about this thing. How do you feel about skydiving? What did you think about this? How did you feel at this time? He's proud of me and I'm proud of him, and just a great experience overall. He felt exactly the same way that I did. He had the sensory overload. He found it very intense. He thought it was an awesome experience.
What do you think? Woo! Oh my God, that was ridiculous. So it's recommended? Oh yeah, 100%. That's a once in a lifetime experience. Awesome, you did terrific. Oh my God.
This time I was more towards the back, and I saw him jump out first. Because I'd already done it once, I know what's going through his mind at the time. I'm feeling a lot less nervous, because like anything, when you've done it one time, you have a little more confidence. So I knew how it was going to go. So I was, more thinking about how he was feeling, and remembering back to my first one, and then he's gone, right? Like you just fall out and then you don't see the people anymore. And then it's my turn, and I wanted to focus on staying focused. I wanted to focus on staying aware, because if I couldn't stay aware, there was no way I could really go on to the next level. But the way it actually worked out was I made a call, I think 3 days before the tandem, to Parachute Montreal to inquire about the course. And there was one spot left. And I just booked. If I could do that, I would think harder about doing the solo certification. I put the deposit down. I signed up for the course without passing the test, because I had convinced myself that I would be able to stay aware. I had one of these high confidence times where I was like, yeah, I can do it. I think I can do it. I might be able to do it. I don't know if I can do it. You know what, I can do it. And then I signed up right away. Like, you know, as soon as I had that top level confidence, I signed. And then, you know, instead of being a test, now it was, you know, okay, well, I've already signed up for this. Now I have to be aware, you know, not allow myself to have the sensory overload. I didn't know what caused it the first time, whether it was the wind, the altitude, the new experience, but I was going to have to overcome those things because a week from now, I was going to be doing this with a parachute strapped to my own back. The thing that that worked out was that I told the second tandem master that I had signed up for the course. He trained me on the ground to do the actual pulling of the cord of the parachute. So the instructor, you know, got really close to me like we would be as if we were attached in the plane. He had me practice where to find, and we practiced that several times of me reaching back and him tapping me on the shoulder to let me know, hey, it's the time to do it. It was very safe because they actually have 2 pulls on either side, so if I somehow messed up what I was supposed to do, he would have been able to pull it on the other side, and that's why he was comfortable doing it. But it was my first experience reaching back and pulling it out and having the parachute deploy. The instructor was going to be good. He was going to tell me what he was thinking, why he was doing what he was doing. And that's a totally different experience than a normal first tandem jump where you're there, you know, more to get the experience of jumping out of the plane and the altitude, and you know, it's very much a tourist attraction, as opposed to this is what I'm thinking, this is how you land, this is what I'm thinking about the wind direction, about the jump itself, all of those things that, you know, I would be seeing in the course in the coming weeks. I stayed awake the entire time. I thought that I could. I was a little hesitant a few days before, but on the day, I really, really concentrated on being aware the whole time. You know what, if I'm honest, I'm terrified every single time because the whole idea of skydiving just freaks me out. It terrifies me every single time. I have not yet been able to get over it, and I've jumped quite a few times now, but every single time it's the same. I'm just terrified of the whole experience. And that's part of it. I'm wanting to demonstrate that an average person like me can take on a challenge and motivate yourself, get mentally prepared, get physically prepared, and do something that's just outside your comfort zone. For me, this is really outside, you know, my comfort zone. But you know, what I'm hoping to get across with these videos is that maybe there is something that you can think about that's just outside your comfort zone. What can you do that you've never tried before? And it doesn't have to be something crazy like an extreme sport. It could be, you know, running 200 meters when you've never run before. It can be going to the gym, or, you know, starting a new fitness regime, or taking up a new hobby that you've never tried before at any age. Just doing something that you've never tried before, learning how to do it. You know, maybe you won't become the best in the world at it. I never have that expectation. I know I'm not going to be the best skydiver. It's impossible for me to, you know, to be in that position because it's not a lifelong dream for me. It's just something that I wanted to take on as a challenge just to see if I could. And, you know, tell the story about how I went about it and what, you know, people could experience, and maybe that will motivate some people either to try skydiving or to try something else that would be new, and that would be a fantastic result of these videos.